Good morning. Welcome to Crawl and No Crawl. This is Carolyn Holzman. Today is February 18th, and it is, I think, day 533 of the indexation project. I just wanted to show some people have been asking, where do I find about my own site? You keep talking about designated crawler. What does that mean? So, in this screenshot, what you can see here is you go to Google Search Console, you select the pages on the left-hand side, and then you'll see a very familiar screen, and over here up top, it'll say whether your primary crawler is desktop or smartphone. Obviously, smartphone means mobile. And what this means, as best I can understand, that it is the desktop user agents that generate the data within this search console. And as you know, right now I'm testing because the behavior of sites whose primary crawler is desktop is different than those where it is the smartphone or mobile. Now, I'm not saying you are having trouble, but I'm saying the test sites that I have access to are and create, they are all exhibiting this behavior in that you publish, it gets crawled, Search Console says that it's indexed, but you can't find it by its keywords. Now, you might be able to find it by searching for the URL in quotes, but that does not mean you're in the primary index. And you could do a site operator search put your domain in, and you might find that page in that list. But that also does not mean that you are in the primary index. So, welcome to my world. Okay, so I'm going to go back to here. All right. Now, you can find this data on American Way Media. Just search for Google Index Detector, and it's the top result. And as you can see here, we had 2 high days of volatility this week in the weather tools. This is, I'm just keeping track of SEMrush. There are others. And I was going back in the data to try and find out, how long has it been since we were up in the nosebleed seats? Now, as you can see here, I'm noting that there has been some rollback, that on the 16th, I found the test page for the 15th indexable by both keywords. That means it went through the simple pass, the HTML pass, and the second rendering pass, and the keywords were found. That didn't last very long, and so I'm keeping track of that. Now, yesterday, I should say the 17th, I found an earlier page that was findable by its simple keyword, but not JavaScript. And as you can see here, this is the story that even if I'm finding anything, I'm not finding that that these things are going through JavaScript. Now, maybe they're going through JavaScript rendering, but there's some serving failure on the machine. So we don't know yet, but I'm just describing the behavior. Now, there's been very little bot activity, really, and so that kind of makes sense. So when I'm publishing, things are getting a full render, a crawl, and then a full render crawl. So that part of the system is working. And yesterday, I made some edits on existing pages on the HTML portion, but I wanted to see if I could, take something that is already indexed, add a JavaScript keyword to it, and see if it will go back through and do a second rendering pass. So let me explain that better. I have an existing page that is already indexed and findable by both its keywords, and I modified it slightly, made some edits, and added a second keyword on there wrapped in JavaScript. So the test is really to find out if it's going to go through the second rendering pass after these edits, and will I be able to find that new JavaScript keyword. So so far I've still been able to find it by the old one, which is still there. So we'll see, right, what's going on. Now, the thing I want to talk about here real quick is that this high volatility, here's what you can expect. A lot of people are going to say that we've gone through an update. And I think it's unlikely because they were pushing out what seemed to be a huge amount of data. And maybe they were holding back, processing other data. Maybe something was broken. They got it fixed, and now they can offload all this backload. We don't really know, but while this is happening, while all this data gets pushed out, your experience may be like Google is ignoring your new content or ignoring your edit updates or things like that. Now, I thought last night there would be a Search Console coverage update, but it did not turn out, and that makes sense, right? They were probably pushing out really high, and so they're probably going to wait until tonight to update that. And again, if you want to know what I'm talking about on that update, this is where I get these dates. Now, all of our sites update at the same time. So when my dates change, yours will as well. And it'll depend on your time zone, right? So, but ultimately, they are all happening at the same time. All right, that's it. Thanks so much, and I will talk to you tomorrow.